What's up guys? Joma Moves ng Kicks Mo to. At ngayon ang i-review natin ay isang basketball shoe. So this is the Nike Air Force Max. This was supposedly the signature shoe for Anthony Davis pero hindi niya sinusuot. Ang sinusuot niya yung Kobe AD Exodus, sorry. Yun yung sinusuot niya and he disregarded this shoe. This is a big man shoe for me. When I played with it, maraming things na napansin ko na hindi mag-enjoy ang guards dito. And yun nga, as I mentioned, this was for AD, so definitely it's for a big man shoe. Pero alam naman natin na agile siya and all of that stuff. But I don't know why he's not using it. So let's take a look at the review. Okay guys, let's kick it off with the traction. So sa traction natin, if you see here, it's a multi-directional pattern. So it's this is what they actually call the blade pattern, yung mga linya-linya natin na ganyan. So that's a blade pattern, and then it does have a circular pattern dun sa pivot points natin. So ito, dahil hindi nyo masyado makita dahil may black na portion yan, but this is still also a circle, and this is actually a pivot point, yung heel natin, and then yung ball nung paa natin sa ilalim. So that's also a pivot point. So blade traction, didn't have any issues with it. Dust is not really a factor. Maganda yung spacing nung traction natin. Unfortunately, I think durability, like with most current Nike kicks, will be an issue. Medyo malambot yung rubber natin, and I don't think this is a XDR model. So traction for what it is actually average. It does its job kung ano naman yung kailangan niyang gawin. It's not really that kind of sticky traction na mas i-prefer ng mga shifty players natin katulad ng guards and wing players. But I think for what it is, the traction is well implemented. The rubber is pretty good. Well, this is a solid this has a solid rubber outsole, but basically when I used it, it did its job well. I stopped when I needed to stop, and then wala naman akong slippage na na-feel. Okay, so next we have our cushioning. So if you see here, and as its name states, it's the it has an Air Max cushioning, so it feels very stiff at first, and even with how many uses stiff siya. It feels more, well, it doesn't feel like a foam kasi hindi siya masyadong nagbibigay ng give, especially sa middle part, itong part na to. Wala siyang masyadong give dyan. Yung give niya mostly nasa gilid lang, which is one of the issues with this kasi hindi nyo siya nafe-feel, although you know that it's there. It does provide you with impact protection, but you really don't feel it. It really feels like you're playing on a big air bubble na matigas yung wrap around niya, parang ganun. So it really doesn't provide for me there was zero court feel and zero responsiveness with the cushioning. Unfortunately, for guards talagang hindi to para sa inyo. This was actually made for a big man naman talaga. So there it's very stiff. I actually needed to also change the insole to a more forgiving insole para magkaroon ako ng konting step-in na comfort niya. But basically, it's not a very fun ride to be in. Although it does protect your knees and your ankles from impact, I would have preferred na medyo may konting plushness ng yung pakiramdam ng cushion niya. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. Kaya rin siguro ata siya hindi sinusuot ni Anthony Davis kasi yung sensation na yun baka hindi niya rin gusto. If you can see yung pillars nga natin sa loob yan, that doesn't really help in compressing the air when you're actually playing in this pair of kicks. Okay, so next we also have our materials, which I'm not a very big fan of, especially yung other colorways. If you can see here, we do have like synthetic kapote-like material for all it's worth. Yun lang naisip kong term. And then we do have a lot of fuse sa high wear area. So you can see it here sa toe box natin, and then around here sa side ng shoe, both lateral and medial side. And then we also have a rubber kind of like rubber strap here, and then sa loob naman it's still more fabrics and synthetics. So I'm also not a very big fan of the materials, especially kung nakita nyo yung white colorway na to. Ang pangit talaga tignan nung material na to. This is a little bit more easy on the eyes dahil dito sa colorway niya, but basically not a big fan of the materials here for a shoe that was slated to retail at 8,095 pesos. I think they did a bad job on the materials. I'm not really a big fan of it, but if it is your cup of tea, it does provide you with a little bit more support and durability, especially dun sa mga, compared sa mga knits natin. And this kapote-like material, as I mentioned, is also a little bit more forgiving in terms of weight and yung flexibility as well. So if those are some of the things that you're looking into, this might be a shoe for you. But definitely for me, I was not a really big fan of what the materials they used here on. Okay, finally, for our fit and support, it is true to size, but it is very very narrow. Ako na narrow footer, medyo nasikipan ako dito sa 4 foot, much more yung mga wide footers natin. And even if this material is a little bit flexible, hindi siya kasing flexible ng knit na kaya mag-accommodate nung mga wide footers natin. And especially itong fuse na part na to rin, it also doesn't give you a lot of room to work with in terms of flexibility and stretch. So that's another thing you might want to consider. But in terms of the overall stability, these shoes are very secure. If you can see here, in spite of the fact na wala siyang masyadong outrigger, it has a little bit of a wide base, and then itong plastic or TPU na material na to, so this goes really way up here para ma-contain ka, and then makita mo hanggang dyan yan. Very very well contained ka dito. If it's one thing about these pair of shoes is yung containment niya. And then we also have the strap, which actually also works in containing your midfoot inside the shoe. So yun, for all the flaws na nakita ko nung ginamit ko tong pair na to for basketball, if it's one thing, I felt very very secure. These things are built and made to work like a tank. So tangke talaga yung pakiramdam niya. So for those big guys who do need a lot of support kasi nakikipagbanggaan ka, nakikipag-rebound ka, these will definitely work out for you. Wala akong masabi if it's one thing. I wish there was a basketball shoe na ganito yung pwedeng ibigay na support na at the same time enjoyable yung cushion and yung materials niya. But it is what it is. I think they built this way para talagang fully supported ka. Even yung mga fuse natin medyo for a lack of a better term, may pagka-OA siya. So basically there, and then yun nga, because of the materials as well, for wide footers, I'm not sure if you might want to check if you can go half a size up, kasi medyo narrow talaga yung pakiramdam na to, even if this was actually made for big men. Usually big men shoes may pagka wide sila, but these are quite narrow, and then very very contained ka talaga sa kanila. So that's all I can say about this. Okay, so there you have it, guys, our review of the Air Force Max. So this is the Air Force Max for this year. And then there, so I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but definitely a big man shoe. Originally retails for 8,095 pesos, but you can look at it for sale, on sale sa mga lugar katulad ng Toby's, Titan has it, and some Nike outlets has it sa Nike Park. I've seen it sa ilang Nike Park. So if you're looking to get a pair, if this will be your cup of tea, then you can check it out there. Basically, it's still a pretty good pair of shoes, especially for those big men. But for me, unfortunately, it's not a good pair of shoes for me, and I really didn't enjoy playing in these. So those are just my thoughts. So thank you, guys. I hope the review helped you if you're going to buy a pair and if you're going to ball in this pair. So again, thank you, guys, and don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and click the bell for notifications for new content. And of course, you can also see us in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on kicksmoto.com. So thank you, guys, and peace out.